Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Friday, and on our channel, that also means it's Community Day. So, if you are interested in participating in Community Day, I'll take a second to get set up, but you can join. Oops, how do I do this? Community Day. You can join any of the voice channels in our Discord and then type !waiting in chat. If you want to participate in Community Day with your voice, that is. If you want to participate in Community Day just in general, you are free to chat. And what I'm going to do is try to pay more attention to chat than usual and spend some time fully answering questions if you have questions and just respond to you. I will be still, of course, slightly distracted because I do want to also open source this data import library. So I will be doing that as well. But phone lines are open. Call now. This is where I'm trying to go. Okay, and then I push that button. All right, so everything is all set up. I am going to continue on with the data import utility open sourcing fullness. I think I can't remember what we did recently. Like I do remember that we went through a whole bunch of the setup for the sample project, set it up for GitHub Actions, created the YAML file for the GitHub action to post it to GitHub pages. And then reorganize components and used mapping input component. What does that mean? So that one was a set of changes. Oh, where we actually moved the folders around, moved components into different folders. So like all of our value transformation components went into their own folder. They used to exist in this field transformations component. And in fact, it was only that one. And then I pulled out all of the separate UI into their own component based off of what type of value transformation it is. Cool, so that's what happened here. And then there was some issue that I came back and fixed during the regular stream, and then I dropped it. So haven't touched this for the past week at all. I have still been doing work on the component library that's being used in the work products, so there are changes coming to this one. But what we're gonna do for this one is do our initial publish, make sure that the pipeline works, and check to see that the sample page shows up. As long as we created the sample project. Why does it look like you're missing? Because I set it up in a different solution. Right? Source sample app. Yeah. So I actually created it in its own solution. What I had been doing in my work product is just including the sample app in the same solution as the library itself, which is fine for my internal purposes. But if we're trying to ship a project, then it might be better not to have all of these extraneous project references in the solution. And instead you just have this nice, clean way to work with it. And then we'll write some documentation, of course. I love how things wait until I'm about to start the stream to start giving me a whole bunch of notifications. 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, or not Pacific, Mountain time is just like prime time for notifications and stuff. Okay. So what am I looking at? We are looking at the sample app. We're going to make sure that the sample app Works is rigged up to use the data file mapper, and everything is as it should be. So let's just run this real quick. I think I turned my headphones down too far. I can't hear the music. Ooh. I am going to lurk on this person's stream, who I have not actually seen yet. And that's what happens when I'm... I tried to set this as my current active browser. And then, of course, because I'm waiting for something to happen, I'm like, I'm going to go and be efficient and try to do other things. So then I set another browser as active, and that made the app open on that browser. And so because lazy, instead of just finding out what address the app is running on, I'm just going to rerun the app. Hello, Canny Dev. I'll try to get another shout out for you later in the stream when there are more viewers, but here's a shout out for Canny Dev. Amazing and wonderful bipedal. I think, are you mostly bipedal or are you also quadrupedal at times? Anyway, bipedal humanoid mind body spirit complex entity. Beautiful person detected. You must have seen yourself in the mirror. Currently bipedal. Join process. Join success. Execution. Hello world. Or executing hello world procedure. Successfully done. Oh, and then the emoji. Honey debt. One high. Awesome. But yeah, it's community day. So again, feel free to bring up whatever topics you want and we can discuss them. And in the meantime, I will continue publishing the open source version of I was going to say the component library because that's what's open right here. The data import utility library. We're going to try to do our first merge to main and make sure that the pipeline works correct. I keep saying pipeline, the GitHub actions works correctly, which is going to be the action to create the GitHub pages for this project. After making sure that the sample app actually works. I'm saying actually a lot. I apologize if that's annoying. I will stop that now. Peter! No voice chat for a while, so FYI. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I will be sad, then. Is that the correct response? Okay, so there are some issues, such as vertical scrolling. Is that happening in my work product version of just a library? I haven't run the sample app for just the work version, or for just the data import utility, the core library, because I've been using the lab data import version of it that I'm doing for work. And that one is looking nice. And if you are around after Community Day, I will be working on that s'mores. We'll start the stream back up after Community Day. But you'll be able to see the app at that point in time. This is the open source version. This is the... Oh, it's because it's called Armits something or other. Armits file import utility. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna run this one and see if we're having the same issue with not being able to scroll the table. And if not, then we'll need to check on the CSS to make sure it's all getting applied and it's doing what it's supposed to do. Heaven is in your eyes. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Hello? Are you running on the same port or something? Please tell me you're not running on the same port. This is the lab data import. And this one is the data file import. But that's only the open source version. Hello, Jamie. No notification. Had to come check for myself. There should have been one in Discord at least. Twitch seems to just be... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to say finicky. Finicky. I was going to say fickle with who it shouts out, but it's just been finicky. It's hit or miss whether the notifications eventually consistent. Yes. AKA not consistent. Ever. I told you to run though. You're supposed to launch. There you go. Good job. Is this still my active window? Oh, it's crashing. Oh, the source generator is the project that's set as my startup project. That makes sense. So it is not crashing. It is running perfectly, but yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, actually I had to check Discord to get that notification. Not sure. Yeah, I mean, I saw my go live notification happen. I had to clear it. Didn't I? Oh, I don't even know where that is. Announcements and stuff, but where did that go? Here, information. Stream announcements. Yeah. Anyway. And now here we are. But hi, Jamie. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Friday to you. I didn't read this message off. Man, what a great start to Community Day. Candy said, hugs, hearts and hugs, love for the SO. I'm done with work right now. I need to recharge to make stuff later these days. Aww. I will send you tons and tons of energy. I have access. You have access, but I have accepted the fact that I have access to an unlimited well of energy that is just motivating whatever you want it to be. Its potential is what it is, and you can turn it into whatever you want. So I'm sending you the raw potentiality, and you do with what you want. Yeah. Okay, let's find out what's up with this table. I don't know what was up with last Friday though. There was a lot of drainage where like it felt like I was constantly drawing from that well, but it was just pouring out of me faster than it was coming in. So it eventually kicked in, but yeah. Okay. So the scroll bars are definitely working in the other version. So Y table, Y-O-Y, are you not getting overflow auto? Well, let's just compare. You there. And let's do, you go vertical. I mean, are you called vertical or are you called horizontal stacking? Because when we looked at the layout for this thing, horizontal is where they're stacked vertically and vertical is where they're stacked horizontally. So yeah, it's so confusing. And I did it again. I was trying to change it so that they're stacked side by side. Okay, so that's updated. You show me this. Blue Blue is here. Hello, Blue Blue. Happy Community Day. One lion lost weight. I did? I'll go weigh myself. News to me. According to my scale, which keeps a history of my weight, I gained a couple tenths of a pound. Anyway, hello, Sam. Sam. Hi, Sam. Just because that's with capitalized. That's what I'm going with. Or I can call you Sagas. Maybe I haven't visited in a while. Possibly. Totally possible. All right, let's see if our yeah, there are already a ton of things that are not the same between our stylings. Right. Not just our stylings, but also our structure. Wait, the one on the right is my work product, isn't it? I mean, is the one from work. Port 7135 is the open source version. Port 7124 is the work version. I'm supposed to be recording a trailer today, but I'm falling asleep. I don't know, Pepe Hands. What kind of trailer? For a movie? For a game? For a... I can't think of anything creative. I'm not super creative right now. For a video game. Very, very interesting. Why, oh why, are you inside of an app container? Oh, this is going to be fun, trying to keep track of which one is which. These now. You are the open source. Good. Oh, actually, it's going to be easy because this one is called Armit's file import. Okay, so layout. I need to get rid of this app content. What? Where is the app container coming from? Oh, this is very confusing. So there is no div ID app. Well, maybe. Let's go to routes. Where did I put routes? The problem with leaving this at the default is that I am not super duper familiar with, or not, I'm familiar with it, I'm just not used to the layout. I don't know why I'm looking in here. The way that the project templates get structured. Interesting. So is there really no routes.razor when you do just a Blazor WASM only Blazor web app? Yeah. Oh man, it's doing this thing. Right. Okay. So when I picked Blazor web app, and oh man, I started looking at this earlier. Let's see if I can open it. when I do a brand new Blazor web app and I choose WebAssembly only as the render mode, it gives us the normal Blazor WebAssembly template, which doesn't have the same setup that the render mode auto or render mode server has. Oh my goodness, so many notifications. There's an update on my ticket. I really need to check this ticket. Happens inside your eyes. Okay, please open over there. Don't do anything weird. Thank you. Video game because the Apple container was for Mac. Huh? Gosh. I thought I left it open. Excuse me, why aren't you minimizing to the taskbar? I mean, why aren't you auto-hiding? Seniority taskbar. You're making this very difficult. Taskbar settings. Taskbar behaviors. Automatically hide. Oh, because I don't usually have it on automatically hide. But still, you need to move so that I can get to this. And because it's not on automatically hide, why? Oh, why? Oh, you're being weird. I was like, why is my jump desktop window not adjusting for the taskbar? And it's because it has a UI weirdness. There we go. That'll fix it. Turn you back off. Two very different responses. Video game trailer, and you said, why are you in the Apple container? App container, just app. Unless I did say app. Oh. And the reason is because it is a Blazor WebAssembly application with index.html, which needs a div ID app or just any kind of container in order to run the application in it once the WebAssembly code is loaded. I closed it. When did I close it? History. Sorry, I'm doing work stuff. It's community day and here I am doing work. Yesterday at here. Yes. Okay. So update. It says he emailed me. So why don't I see an email? Like the email that I see is that there was an update. No. Oops. That is kind of annoying that you're completely wrong and that you're sending me a message just now. Oh, okay. Um, if you ever want to drain these super quick, yeah, just do that. Okay. Moving on. So the issue that is happening for our UI in the published app is that our container is not body. Our container is app. And not only that, we put all of our styles on body only. So these global styles are applying to body only, and we need these styles to apply to app. So app is going to be a display, position fixed so that it's, I don't know how I want to do it. Oh gosh. Overflow auto. Let's just start with this. Let's see what happens when we do overflow auto. See if that cleans up our scroll bar issue. It does not. It does not. I can still use middle mouse click to scroll around. And it's also possible that it's not picking up our CSS changes immediately. We could have some auto sync issues. I guess just to be 100% sure, I'm going to Alt-Shift-Q, which is to tell this thing to recompile my CSS. We can see that the CSS was recompiled. We have no idea whether it was actually applied, actually, maybe, possibly, actually. But we can find out by looking here, and I don't see the styles. So we should have oh my gosh, because I'm using the wrong selector. We can continue it if that's the conversation you want to have. It's not the most relevant to software development, but I am more than happy to talk about that if that's the direction you want the conversation to go. Awesome. So we do have a vertical scroll. But why didn't we get a horizontal scroll? So we got body with a width of 100 VW and a overflow of 0. And then we got app. So what I typically do when I had this type of structure is I would put position fixed, inset 0, and this would make sure that the app component will always be the same size as the viewport, no matter what. Wait, is this the thing that causes the weird resizing thing? No, that does it regardless. Good, so that's not just me. Okay, so I still don't understand what's happening to my horizontal scroll though. That should be here in overflow auto. So my guess is that, oh no, that's not how I usually do it. That's not how I usually do it. I usually do overflow hidden on app as well, and then the page handles the scroll. What's going on? You are confusing me. Okay, so Jamie is saying, but do you think a specific personality trait has better outcomes for an individual in software dev? It's an odd question, but one would think that the ones around introverted traits would be a positive for software devs. Not always. It's not necessarily, yeah, I really want to decouple the the thought of a personality type from whether you have an introverted versus extroverted preference. Yeah. Because there are things that I have, like extroverted thinking. The reason that I'm able to talk with you, even though I'm an introverted person, but the reason I'm able to communicate ideas is because my primary function, my first judging function is extroverted thinking. Is that right? I think that's right. Anyway, so I have extroverted thinking, and what that means is that I externalize my thinking. I draw in information from the outside. It feeds through first my introverted intuition. So when I get information, it feeds through this pipeline of, are there any existing patterns that I've already seen that I can match this information coming into? Can I formulate it into something I already know? If not, can I start creating a pattern for this new thing that I'm taking in? And then it goes through extroverted thinking, which is, this is more like an outgoing when I'm presenting information. It still goes through introverted intuition first to see if there's a pattern thing. But the extroverted thinking is like, all right, what is realistic? What is known? What information is there? And I want to freely and openly share that information. But I also am judging all of the information at the same time as either being correct or imprecise, is what I'll call it, instead of incorrect. Which is what I did with the word introverted. So introversion as a preference is, you are, I mean, there's a lot to it, and I hate boiling it down to this. I hate saying that it's when you are drained from social interactions and you get your energy from recover. Your way of recovering is typically doing a lot by yourself, or a lot of meaningful one-on-one time would be another fantastic thing to say about how to recuperate if you are an introvert. Yeah. But the introverted and extroverted nature of the cognitive functions as defined by Jung are different. They're just how you are processing the information and what you do with that information. That said, there are plenty of extroverted functions, cognitive functions, that lend itself well to something like software development. For example, extroverted thinking, extroverted intuition that I don't really understand that great. But that is a very creative energy, and that can be used a lot with software development, especially designers, especially big system thinkers that are needing to find clever ways to relate seemingly unrelated ideas and topics. So that said, I think that there are beneficial cognitive functions that lend themselves to software development. And then as far as preferences is concerned, I also see great benefit in extroverts. Again, preference. Especially those that really, really motivate and synergize teams together. Like, these are your ENTJs. Typically, again, there is a somewhat correlation between Myers-Briggs type and whether you tend to be introverted or you prefer to be, you have a preference towards introversion or extroversion. But yeah, so cognitive functions, definitely think that extroverted functions are good drivers and introverted functions are good creatives, good creators, good ideists. And then extroverts are great, like extrovert preference, are great at motivating teams, getting stuff done as a team, as a community, and also presenting the information. Like, would you want to be on a team as an introvert where you have to be the one being the face with, interfacing directly with your client? Or would you want an extrovert that does understand the system and is able to communicate and actually thrives on and gets energy from these social interactions? So, yeah, I would want that extroverted face. I like being in the background. I like being in the shadows. Steve Jobs was a master motivator with unusual charisma. I agree with you. And do you know what Steve Jobs's possible Myers-Briggs type was? ISTP. Same as Dukasoft. At least Dukasoft tested as an ISTP. That's awesome. I mean, I haven't watched very much of his presentations or anything, so I don't know how he presents. I'm assuming this is correct-ish. And an Enneagram 4. Oh, everyone thinks they're an Enneagram 4. Anyway, I've got lots to figure out. Which am I, since I wouldn't consider myself as an introvert, even though I prefer to be by myself, but I don't shy down when it's time to go out. So there's another word that sneaks into when you're talking about introversion and extroversion. Shyness is also its own thing. You could be an extrovert and extremely shy. You could be an introvert without being shy. They're mutually exclusive. One doesn't. Oh, there is a tendency for introverts to be more along what we would call shy, what we would label as shy, and extroverts not to. His biography was really interesting. He did authorize it too. Awesome. But yeah, if you are trying to use this so that you can have conversation about I am this type and it says that I do this, so I'm allowed to do this, that might not be the best use for the tool. um or to like wear it as a badge, like I'm an INTJ, and like seriously, I have pride around that. I'm like, I am really really glad that I got typed as an INTJ so many times over and over by different people, by different sources, because nobody wants to be the type that they are except for INTJs, it seems. Everyone wants to be an INFJ. INFJs do not want to be INFJs. That's how you can possibly tell you're an INFJ. um, and this is all like general statements. It's not specifically true. There is no true basis for this. It's just an observation. But it's how it seems. And so, at least in the Myers-Briggs system, I don't remember my personality label. Yeah, and then you have the people that are like, well, we're just slapping labels on people. And it's like, no, if you dive into the original Jungian theory, I don't know if it's called a theory. Anyway, the Jungian psychology for the use of cognitive functions, then you'll find great benefit in understanding what your type is. Myers-Briggs made it into a business model situation where we can understand our personalities in businessy type situations, even though we can apply that to our personal lives. But if you use it to understand how you process information and how you spread information, then you can do things with more awareness. You can be more aware of how you're acting and why people might be responding to you in the ways that they respond to you. Gosh, there's so much messaging and notifications going on right now. I love this topic and I want to focus more on it. Dang it. And again, I am not like the the subject matter expert or a oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Authoritative figure on any of these things. I just have my understanding based off of all of the stuff that I've consumed from various sources, including Asura Psych and Love Who, Frank James when he wasn't sold out. I didn't say that out loud. What's her name? LJ. Lindsay Lijo. Lindsay Joe? Anyway, LJ. She's an INTJ and she has great information. And then I started learning more about the Enneagram and learned a lot about what each of the numbers means, and then the concept of trifixes and modalities and instincts, and there's just so many layers. And when people look at these systems, they look at only that top layer. It's like, oh, your Myers-Briggs type starts with an I, you must be an introvert. Or yeah, you're labeled as an INFJ, and now you can go around and tell everyone that you're an INFJ, just so that you can be like, ha ha ha, look at me wearing this. It's like, that's not what it's about. You can use it like that if you want. Wow. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that's the response. Okay, okay. I need to do another thing again. Come inside. Why are you on? Oh, because that's this window. You're doing the thing again. Jump desktop. What it? Full screen. And where is this? But Jamie said it's good to know in the business environment to look to know the diversity of team members on paper, but I would wear it like a label, like I have the personality trait of Donald Trump. Yeah. But it's an interesting topic. Or wouldn't wear it, sorry. President Usher says many of us were always skeptical on how well an employer would make use of the MBTI type. And you can actually say MBTI type without being redundant, because MBTI is Myers-Briggs type indicator. So you can say Myers-Briggs type indicator type, and it's not wrong. Gosh, there's so many things going on at once. I want to respond to this as soon as I can, because if I don't, it's going to get dropped. And I don't want it to get lost. I need this to get resolved as soon as possible. Here. Push. It's just, it sucks that they decided to do this now, when I let them know yesterday morning. Oh, I think it might be resolved. Oh, it's gonna work. And then President Not Sure continued by saying, yes, it's done. It worked. That's exactly what he said, just like that. Wait, why are you saying? Oh my gosh. Anyway, doesn't matter. It worked. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'll respond to it later. Okay, President Not Sure was saying, one of my employers asked us to take the test, and it seemed to us that it could introduce bias for against that was detrimental to us employees. Exactly, and that is an improper use. If you're using it to treat others in a lesser way, like disqualify someone from an actual job because of personality type. That's one of those demographics that's like disqualifying someone because of their race, gender, ethnicity, origin, etc. And it's like, no, that's not what it's for. The usage of the Myers-Briggs type indicator system, I believe, was originally intended so that you could figure out how to best use the strengths of each of your team members. But that's about it. Not try to get them to improve in specific ways. It's like, I have the information about you. You're an ISTP. That means these things are most likely going to line up with your preferences. Therefore, this is how we can best utilize you. And then if you, the individual, was trying to look at your Myers-Briggs type indicator and wanted to do stuff with it, that's on you. But we shouldn't make people do stuff based on, or we shouldn't limit people based on personality types. But again, Myers-Briggs is only one of the typing systems. There's DISC, there's others that I can't think of, Big Five. Anyway, and then Jamie said, I had a potential one ask me to do it too. That's how I even knew about that. Mine was in university. Every undergrad was expected to take the personal and professional development course, and part of it was taking the Myers-Briggs test, a Myers-Briggs test, which again is not great because you taking the test yourself, your ego is going to fall into play. You're not necessarily going to be super duper honest with yourself about your preferences and the questions that it's asking you. Goodness. Yeah. So again, tell me your thoughts. I'm giving you all of this information from stuff that I understand of what I've consumed in the past. So if you do have other viewpoints, don't let me step on your viewpoints. I don't mean to bulldoze you. It's just, I have spent a lot of time consuming information about this, and what phone? No, that was just a random buzz for the heck of it. Because of the way that my cognitive processes work, regardless of whether I'm an INTJ or not, this is an observation I make of myself. I analyze everything, put it into patterns, and then I can recall the pattern and give information that I believed to be relevant to that with that pattern. Okay, that's that. It's still community day. Right now we are on a personality topic, and if that's not something that interests you, completely okay. Feel free to bring up your own topics. I am also working on the open sourcing of this library, but for whatever reason, the sample page for this library is not scrolling the way that it should, and we found out that the reason is because there's this additional app container, and from that app container we aren't getting all of the proper styles on our page. And then I just saw some naming prefixes that I want to change. This is sample app, so --RMA is going to get replaced with --O1L. Entire solution. Okay, anything else? Cool. So that just told me that we are getting CSS autosync because the custom CSS properties did change here. Okay. So what I'm doing now, again, bring up conversation. I will not ignore chat. Mojo was asking any VR game recommendations in chat. Well, since I'm not in chat, I guess I can't answer. Hi, Mojo. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Exactly. Well, my answer is still that I don't have any recommendations because I don't even own a VR device. I own an AR device that I don't use anymore because support for it was dropped, and I was like very, very sad because I thought it would go somewhere, but that's okay. I still do want to do development for AR. Just like Mojo. And hello, Mars. Happy Friday to you. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Doing development for augmented reality. And it's very similar to virtual reality, except that you can't like use a lot of the higher end features, and then you don't have a world really that you're building. The real world is your world. I need a whiteboarding app for project management. Well, that does exist. Microsoft Store. Is there a way to filter the store on your computer to mixed reality? I don't know if there's a way for you to apply filters for just mixed reality. Filters, all department, ages, types. Yeah. I don't think there's a way to do that. Ooh, how about Halo Recruit? That's my VR suggestion for you. VR game suggestion. Or Pinball FX2 VR. I don't know. I don't know any of these games. Laughing at the opinionated developer at play. Yeah. And that's because it is Community Day, and Community Day is a day when I ask you, the chat, to feel free to bring up whatever conversations you want. You can also join by voice on Discord. You just go into any of the Discord voice channels and type !waiting in chat, and then I'll see that you are waiting in one of the waiting rooms. I'll pull you into the stream room. Of course, the only thing that I ask if you are going to join voice is to be mindful about 1, open mic, 2, you're allowed to use whatever words you normally use in conversation. My stream is not marked as for mature audiences. I don't know if that means that you can't have excessive foul language or cursing, but I do know that there are enough people that don't really appreciate foul language. I'm okay with it personally, but there are enough people that don't like foul language or hearing curse words every other word. So if you could just avoid that. And of course, if you aren't really interested in even using your voice, you can always participate through chat. Installing Godot on OpenXR now. Why Godot? Why not Unity? You can use OpenXR in Unity. But anyway, Godot sounds good. That'll work. I don't even have a preference. Like, I was using Unity because it's what I started using. I don't want to hear any effing curse words, says Mars. Yeah. I've just never seen mixed reality development on Godot before. I never even thought about it being a thing. And so my immediate reaction was just use what you know. But I don't even know if you know Unity. Okay. I need to figure out why this table is not scrolling. So, as we can see, the page itself is not scrollable. It's not page that gets the scroll. Page is also being display grid, overflow hidden. That means it's going to pretty much grow itself to be 100 width, 100 height. Why does having the page inside of the app container make a difference as to whether or not we get a horizontal scroll? I do not know. That said, let's figure out here. So our overflow should be hidden for our second row, which is going to be this. First row is going to be the H1. Second row is the data file mapper wrapper. And so these styles all look the same and they are getting applied. Then the data file mapper wrapper is going to have 4 rows. The data display. What is DS? Oh. This is the data table display, which is DD. I don't remember what DSO was supposed to be. Grid area DSO. Dataset options, which I'm not using. Interesting. Okay, so if we had a dataset options that I decided to use in the future, it would go somewhere between the data file picker and the dataset, the data table. But here we are. And so here we are. So here's our data file mapper wrapper, is what I said. The data file mapper wrapper is also display hidden, display grid. Then when we look at the inside of it, oh yeah, this is the one that I was just now talking about. Oh my gosh. Data file mapper wrapper flows off the tongue. It does. Mars says, I am building a programming sandbox game in Godot. It's basically all UI, and I feel like I'm building an OS. Awesome. Blue says, I'm also Unity. Mojo says, I know nothing, Jon Snow. And then Blue said, trying to learn Cinemachine in 1 minute. 1 minute? Might just record externally. Just use OBS. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know. I honestly don't know what people use for that. Okay, so the styles are being applied to the wrapper. We've seen that everything going up to the top. Oh, you know what? No, it's inset 0, which means that it's not going to grow or shrink. What if I did height 100 VW? What was the new one that Dukasoft gave us? Oh, we can't use it yet. Never mind. It's not supported everywhere. 100 VH and width 100 VW. So this will make sure that we are still within the bounds of the viewport. Even if it does overflow, we should still see some of the scroll bars. But what is the point of Cinemachine? Blue yells. It's to be able to record rendered content. I don't know. I've never used it before. I've only heard it said before. My coroutines are useless, or nah. They're not. They're not useless. Okay, so the data file picker we don't care about. The thing that we really care about is this data table, which has the same styles on it with the overflow auto. So what's going on is that the data table display wrapper is not doing overflow auto. It is allowed to flow outside of the bounds of its wrapper. And its wrapper is growing based off of the size of the rows. Which is not good. Why isn't it doing it here though? We can see that the height, I don't know if you can actually see these numbers, but the height on the wrapper over here on the library that we're working on is 22,731 pixels. The one in our app in the work product version is 435 pixels. So it's stopping itself from growing correctly. And that is an artifact of its parent being overflow hidden for the page. But you also have that overflow hidden for the page. But we can also see that the page is being allowed to grow. But that should be handled by its container app, which is overflow hidden. So why, oh why, are you letting the content spill out? Yeah, so right now body and the app container are the right size. The page container inside of app is auto 1FR. It's going to take up 100% height. So what then? Do we have to do height? We do. But why? If it's inside of this container that's not allowed to grow bigger than the viewport and has an overflow set to hidden, there is no reason that content should be making it out of that container. It should be fixed inside of that container or constrained by that container. That makes no sense. All right, well, let's just do these couple of updates real quick then. Global styles, overflow auto, height 100 VW, width 100. I always do this backwards. And then page, which is going to come from our layout styles. Oh no, it's not going to come from our layout styles. It's going to come from our global styles. The reason I can't use our layout styles is because body is a direct child inside of the main layout, which means that there is no wrapper. Like normally what you would see here is a main wrapping body. But I wanted to simplify the HTML, the DOM. So what I mean by that is that you can't then apply isolated CSS to any of the child components. But I did, oh man, dang it. Brain, you need to keep up. So TBD Gamer did come in. He had he was lurking without sound. And even though he was lurking without sound, I wanted to say how amazing of a streamer TBD Gamer is. Shout out TBD Gamer. If you are into .NET development stuff, then definitely, if you have the opportunity, check out TBD Gamer streams Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, UTC -5 is what time it is Eastern Time. And on Mondays and Fridays, currently, he will be working on an open source project himself that he's doing in Blazor. It is called developers.stream. It's going to be fantastic as well. And I say as well because when I tell you about his primary project that he works on stream, you'll be like, oh, that needs to be a thing. But developers.stream is a way of getting visibility on developer streamers across multiple platforms. So not just on Twitch, but YouTube and I'm sure others. Here is the blurb that I put together for it this morning. Actually, so this blurb I started putting together myself, and then I was taking too long on, and then I went into ChatGPT and I'm like, can you make this better? Because my words were crap. And so ChatGPT put this together. So that's developers.stream. Imagine having a repository of, or a central directory of all of the developers that stream, and being able to connect to it via an API. So your bot could be like, all right, this person just came into chat. Are they on developers.stream? If so, did they have a description of their stream on there? Then I'm going to do a shout out and it's going to print out a more descriptive text information about their stream, as opposed to just follow blah. Check them out. And so that's developers.stream, but his main project, Tuesday through Thursday, is Liquid Sky, which is a project management and planning platform, kind of like Jira, kind of like Azure DevOps, kind of like any number of planning, project management and planning stuff that you might already be familiar with. But it's geared more towards making sure that all of the people who are involved in the project development process are only seeing the information that they really care about. So project managers are seeing the project management aspects of stuff. They're doing requirements. They're doing evaluations on where we are on the status of blah. And then the developers are seeing the same requirements, but in a view that's more geared towards them doing the actual job. So I think it's going to be great. I think it's a great way to structure and organize the stuff. I'm very, very excited to see it be a thing. All right. So Mars says, I really hate working at a company where ownership screams at each other. I agree. It really messes with my anxiety. I agree. I worked at a place. I haven't divulged the client because I'm not allowed to divulge the client. Because I was working for a software consulting firm at the time, and I was assigned to this client, to this team, and my first day in a team meeting with the product owners and the project manager was just them literally yelling at each other. And I was like, taken aback. And it's crazy because I used to just be a solo developer for the longest time. This was my first hired position, I'll say. I took a temporary assignment that was like a 3-month assignment, and I took 2 of them that were working on a development team. But again, those were temporary assignments. This was, I applied for and was hired for a consulting position at the consulting firm, and then I was put on this team. So it was my first real team development experience, and to see the kind of childish behavior, I want to call it, that went on during the weekly meetings was like, this is not what I expected of a professional software development environment. And then working within the team it had its own situations that were happening. So it was not a great experience for me. So I came back to solo dev, but this time as a self-employed business owner. Yay. Maybe in the future I'll have team members. But yeah, right now I don't. Okay, we're trying to figure out what's going on with the scrollability. But again, continue bringing up topics. I keep talking like I'm trying to jump back to focusing on this only, but really it's bring up your topics. Interesting. So why did the scroll happen to the page when the page is overflow hidden? Is there a way of telling what? Oh, it's on app. Overflow auto. When did I do overflow auto? I was going to say, is there a way of telling what a scroll bar belongs to? Was that auto this whole time? That's weird. I hope it wasn't auto this whole time. All right, so we're overflow hidden. We are width and height, 100 VH, 100 VW, or height and width in that order. I'm just constantly dyslexifying it. And then the other thing that I wanted to add that we fixed it with was the height and width on page, but I couldn't add it into the isolated CSS of the layout. So I'm putting it here instead. And this is called anything with a class of page will have a height of 100 VH and a width of 100 VW. But then where are my page styles? Are they in the component itself? Because page has a selector and it is somewhere in my global styles. Actually, yeah, search everywhere for me, please. Here. So this is specifically on home.razor and not in global styles. Why did I think it was in global styles? Because it looked like it was coming in. Oh, because, oh my gosh, I need to pay attention. The actual file that this is referencing is the isolated CSS bundled file and not my global styles app.css. Whoops. Shh. Nobody saw anything. Okay, global styles. Let's grab that page stuff and put it directly in the homepage. And why are you after everything? I like putting my custom CSS properties first. Okay, does that give me my scroll bars? It does, in fact, give me my scroll bars. That was all we were trying to accomplish. So, fixed styling. Why are there still changes? Okay, thank you. Weird. Push that. And the reason that I'm pushing that is because today I would love to do a PR for the initial project creation for this and see if it generates our GitHub page using the action. So I'm going to go ahead and do the PR in GitHub. I like doing it that way instead of through Visual Studio. But you do have the option, just so you know, to create PRs through your Visual Studio IDE. You never have to leave Visual Studio for your GitHub maintenance and stuff. You could do it all here. Okay, let's create a pull request. Initial project creation. So for those of you that do work on teams or are just used to the GitHub workflow type of thing, when you're doing, oh, and you have actually started a new project, when you're doing a merge where the title is pretty much the all of it, do you really put much in the description at all? Wow. I am lagging. What? That was crazy. Right. that might actually be an issue with the library, which is something that we can look at. Hopefully the audio is still coming through fine, but it is possible that I'll crash for a second. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh man. Take me to this. Okay, we should be good. We should be back. It didn't drop any frames, surprisingly, even though it looked like my CPU was like gonna explode. All of my other video crashed. So like the streams that I'm lurking on, the video just went. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just my video card that's causing this, or if there actually is an issue with the way that the application loads the tables. I'll have to keep an eye on that eventually. So I was asking for any of you that do pull request in GitHub and have started a new project, well, just at all, like if the title of your pull request is thank you, is explanatory enough, then do you usually put anything in the description? And as I was asking that, I'm like, you know, I should have probably created an issue. And I don't like calling these issues. This is one thing that I don't like about GitHub's project management portion, DevOps portion, is that you don't really have work items or tasks or things like that. You have issues. And this isn't really an issue. This is a work item for me to create the new project. Initial, and this should probably be multiple issues at the, well, I would make them multiple tasks for a work item, but we have create new project, populate the initial library, and sample project. So it would be create new project would be my work item. And then that would be create the initial library, create the sample project, and set up the GitHub action or workflows for creating the GitHub action, creating the GitHub pages, Git pages. Oh my gosh, words. And this is going to be called yeah. See, there is no such thing as task. I had to create it myself last time. And so what I normally would have done was created the task first, created a new branch with a naming convention that is task number / and then branch name. Okay, so we have a new task. Oh dear, did that get rid of my... Okay, good. My this. And then the other thing to do is to create a new project. So hopefully the back button still works the same. And this new project is going to be the data. Oh, this is probably where you're supposed to do all of your DevOps, isn't it? Data import utility. Oh wait, these are templates. I don't know. Just give me a new project. So yeah, is this different? Because this is not what it looked like when I created the project for Financial Management Tracker. Ooh, it says add item from repo. No, we'll keep it. Set up core data import library. And here, yeah, again, this is where I would want to add these as tasks. Label it as task. Yeah, and I bet you it's going to create an issue in the end. Set up core data import library. Set up sample project. Web assembly. Set up GH static pages. Action. I don't know what to call it. Mars says, speaking of Thindle, have not seen him on recently. So he hasn't been streaming recently. He has been lurking around on people's streams, but he's been sick. Like a lot of people have been getting sick. He is one of them, unfortunately, disfortunately. But he is on the way to doing better and will be streaming again eventually. Quick shout out for him. So if you aren't already following him, he's a .NET developer as well, doing amazing things with e-commerce sites, and he recently got Microsoft MVP. So definitely check out his streams if you are interested in .NET content or just being around cool people. If you like being around cool people, hang out with Tyndall. If you like being around weird, nerdy, non-cool people, stick around here. Or if you just like .NET content. Okay, did this create for us a issue? Oh, probably not, because projects are separate from repositories, aren't they? Nope. Nope. Showed up right here. I appreciate you saying that. You are allowed to think of me however you feel like thinking about me, but I do not think of myself as cool. I think of myself as awkward, stumbly, and awkward as well. Did I already say that? Did I though? Okay, so now we have a an issue that we can reference, which is issue number 1 for our pull request. So, new pull request. I should have just clicked on the easy one, the compare and pull request, and create my pull request. Wait, aren't you supposed? Okay, good. Initial project creation. Complete. Wow, what's going on with my browser? I'm gonna close all of my browser tabs once we get this pushed because it is freezing. Awkward is the new cool, because I am as well. And I know I'm cool, says Mars. You guys are awkward, question man. I do feel awkward a lot. It's mostly internally. I get told that my presentation is pretty decent. When I gave my senior project presentation thing, people were just constantly complimenting me on doing such a good job presenting. And I was like, I felt like I was about to explode and fall apart completely because internally, there is a lot that goes on while I'm presenting. You're functioning adults with jobs and loved ones. Loved one. Yeah, mine definitely comes out when I'm in a crowd, or if I'm working on a team. I found out that if someone walks up to me or calls me on Teams or whatever, and they want something other than information about work, I will just, oh man, I disassemble very, very fast. So label, oh, this doesn't get a label. Projects, this one. And not a milestone thing. Okay, so let's create the pull request, and you, dear community, are going to review my 149 file change pull request, but that's expected. This is a brand new project or set of projects that will get a whole bunch of new files. So what you're going to do for me, dear community, is review all the files, come over to conversations and be like, oh my gosh, how did it take me all the way down there? Goodness griefus. Freezing. I think it's GitHub. I'm gonna blame GitHub. You're gonna come over to... What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna do the closing of the browser now. Shoo. I can see the stream is frozen. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Okay, browser is closed. Do I need to close any of the other browsers? Let's see, what do I have open? I have an Edge. I have 2 Edge browsers with 1,000 tabs. Thank you so much for the follow. I did turn off shouting out who followed, because I don't know if you're coming here just to follow and hang out and you don't want to be called out, or if you actually want to be active. I give you the option for you to opt in. Yeah, I thought so. Video should be unfroze. If you are in Twitch and you click on the little settings button and you toggle, hold on, I'll show you. /1 Juan Lion. I am Juan Van's brother, Juan Lion. So if you click on this sprocket, go to advanced, and you toggle low latency, that'll bring you back to live in case it started lagging because of my freezing and stuff. I will do one more. Community Day post. So that way you don't have to refresh your whole browser just to get caught up and remove the lag on video. Okay. I don't want to close the bot, and I don't want to close Restream. So we're gonna try this without restarting the browser still. I should just be able to Control-Shift-T. Yes. Sign into your account. You sign into your account. Right. I completely changed these. What are you trying to sign into? Does anyone remember what these tabs were? One of them was Azure DevOps, which would be this account. And the other one was could have sworn it was just an article. So we're going to use the same account. No, it was Azure DevOps as well. Okay. Great. So this is my work Azure DevOps, by the way. But they're going to sit there by themselves for a while. All right. So we are trying to review this. Am I still lagging? Are you making me freeze GitHub? No. No lag. No video stuff yet. Mouse is still moving fine. I'm trying to go to this tab. Let me go to this tab. Nope. What are you doing? So I think it has to do with this page. It's not my code or anything. It was trying to do the review of this thingy on this page and click on links. Okay, we're good. We're off of, nope, we're not good. Still frozen. Still frozen. You're making this very hard. Angie, can you please work? Thank you. Okay. Hopefully being on this screen will allow us to not get that lag. So once again, if you are on Twitch, then toggle your low latency toggle to get back up to no latency. I will avoid going to the files change tab or clicking any other links except for review and publish. Although, do you have to be in the files change tab in order to approve? I just sworn there was an approve button in this window, unless I have it set to where I can't even approve my own request. Oh gosh. I have a better idea. I am going to load the GitHub window on a different computer. Yes. Okay, and then we should still be able to see in real time any updates that I make to this. Sure, yes. Let's use Windows Hello. That's not Windows Hello, that's something else. Use my phone. Oh my goodness. Why isn't any of this just working? So I'm trying to use a pass key using Windows Hello, and it says, making sure it's you, please sign in to github.com. I am signed in. And the only button that I have is cancel. So then I say retry passkey. Actually, no, don't do passkey. Instead, use... Well, use my authenticator app. Don't you just love watching streamers struggle? Use authenticator app, and let's do GitHub for one lion. Good. Okay. As I was saying, you're going to, you, the community, dearest community, are going to review my pull request. You're looking through all of my files changed, and you're going to go in there and you're going to see that I have tests, surprisingly, but you're going to be like, why aren't the tests part of your pipeline? And I'll be like, because I don't want the test to be in the pipeline yet. We're just doing the initial commit. And then we have a long conversation about whether or not we should start with the test from the get-go. And eventually I'll win, because it's my project. So then you'll be like, okay, I give. Your stubbornness knows no bounds. So then you go into the file changes tab, which I'm not going to go into because that broke. And you will review each of the changes and you will approve it, except that I cannot approve it because I think I have the branch locked down to where, or not even the branch, just this repo locked down to where the how do I see the existing rules? Oh, okay. Where you cannot approve your own. And then I also told it that we cannot bypass. Okay. So we're gonna let the repository admin bypass or not have these rules applied. But that said, am I the repository admin? Or is Automated Realms the repository admin? Guess we're gonna find out. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have updated. Let's go to the pull. Oh, don't go to the pull request. I'm gonna freeze stuff. No, just close the tab. Close the tab. I'm gonna refresh is what I said on my other computer and see if I can approve this yet, or if I can just push it, I guess. GitHub.com. Yeah, I still can't. My master branch is protected, though. It's just not protected for me. I am able to do all the things. Any suggestions on this? Anyone know how I can allow myself to approve my own pull requests, but no one else? Wait, why does it say that there are no rule sets suddenly? What? Oh my goodness. I need help. I need help. Somebody help me. Okay, we're good. So here's the data import utility, ampersand. We're trying to, please don't freeze again. Okay, we're trying to approve this pull request. There. I can bypass the review required for my own. Good. All right, done. And because I know that we won't be working in that branch anymore, I like to keep it nice and clean, so I delete the branch. Thank you for approving my pull request. If we look at our code and we see main, we are up to date. However, if we go into actions, we should see that the action is running. Why isn't the action running? Got GitHub, workflows, and then the YAML, right? Got GitHub, workflows, and that's where the YAML file is. Why aren't actions reading this? Oh, it is. It's right here. I don't know how to read this page, obviously. This is the workflow here. Why didn't it automatically trigger though? Because we do have the YAML file set to trigger on merge, right? On push to master. We don't have a master branch, sir. Right, and then it needs to be PR'd. Just do it. Just don't even select stuff. Just do it. Man, I thought this was going to be a nice, clean first commit. Nope. But hi, Fully Snabble. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Happy Community Day to you. Okay, now if we go into actions, we should see that it's running. And there we go. Goodness grievous. My neighbor is out grilling today. Must smell good in your area. And it has already failed. Why? Why have you failed? Sample app, sample app, sample app CS proj. Is that my structure? That doesn't look like my structure. My structure is... Wait, that might be my structure. Open folder. Oh, the reason you're mentioning it is because it's negative 15 Celsius and snowy. I don't know what LGTM means. So yes. Oh goodness grievous. We get another update. Man, I really don't like not planning correctly. So the issue that's happening here is that my path is sample app, sample app, sample app.cs proj. But if we look at the actual folder structure, it's source, sample app, cs proj. Goodness grievous. So we get to do another one. Another one. How do I edit? Wasn't there an easy way for me to get to edit? I thought that I just got to it super easily. It's only 1 Celsius here, says Reg9K. It is cold today for us, but I don't know how cold because I haven't been outside, nor am I planning on being outside anytime soon. Source. Propose changes. Yes, yes, yes. We create the pull request. We force merge. Because we have a messy first 3 commits. Actually, the first commit was pretty nice. The other commits, not so much. Okay, back to our actions, running again. And this time it looks like it's running for a longer amount of time, which means that it probably found the project this time. And errored. Invalid option 13 for Lang version. Oh, yeah, duh. It's probably around 1 Celsius. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we can't use Lang version 13 in our source generator. That's a lie. Let's look at our setup.NET Core. So no global.json. No .NET version will be installed. The .NET version output will not be set. But I need .NET 8 and above. Yeah, so... Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Setup.NET Core. So we talked about this on last week, Friday, when we were setting this up. And we talked about not needing the version number for .NET Core. And it seems like it will skip downloading the latest version of .NET. It'll just use whatever is already on there, which doesn't make sense because it didn't fail on .NET Publish not being a recognized command. It failed on me using a property in my CS proj that was Lang version 13, which is only available from the .NET Core SDK 9? 8? Yeah, no build. I have seen people that typically do builds first and then they publish the artifacts, but this was a template that I just copy and pasted from the GitHub pages NuGet package that I'm using that easily turns your Blazor WebAssembly application into a GitHub pages page thing. And it's called... But yes, I will take any recommendations as soon as I look at their original workflow file. It is called Publish SPA for GitHub Pages by Jay Sakamoto. And I have used this before and it works fine. Yeah, so it's this with .NET version that I didn't add to my... Wait. Oh, this was so weird. This looks exactly like the one that I just copy and pasted. Whoops. Okay, so one more edit for this. We're just going to add .NET, use .NET 9. Even though it's a .NET 8 app, we can still use .NET 9 SDK. That way we have latest language features as well. And then if this doesn't work again, I'm open to stepping through it slowly, little by little, taking suggestions, etc., etc. I keep clicking on a different tab because I'm expecting to go back to the code. Actions is where I'm trying to go anyway. Okay, what do you say? Can we get past the publish step? So now we're using .NET 8.0.11. Oh, no, it's telling us that the current installed version was 8.0.11, but we're now doing 9.0 so that we have access to C# Lang 13. And there it goes. It's building and publishing. And so the other thing that this will do is it'll create a branch that is the GitHub pages. And as soon as it's done, we should be able to go to automatedrealmsllc.github.io/data import utility. Okay, so back to the code page. I really don't like your scrolling, guys. We should see a branch for GitHub pages. And this is our published GitHub Pages app for this project, which is the demo site essentially for data import library. Data import library utility. Utility. 404 not found. Do I need to do some further configuration, such as inside of the settings for this specific project, telling it that we have pages from GitHub Actions? No, not GitHub Actions. From my branch. And the branch that we need to select is GitHub Pages, and then save. I forgot about that. How about now? Nothing still. Oh. And it's root. Yeah. Is there no save? It says saved. We have a Jekyll theme. There we go. Awesome. So it just took a minute. So now what we have is a repository where if you, developer, wanted to contribute, you could clone or you could fork and do development work on it. If you have new components, new UI, you wanted to update the UI, you would do that in the solution called sample app solution. So there are two solutions in this repo. The sample app solution has the project files for the data import library, as well as the project file for the Blazor WebAssembly application. The Blazor WebAssembly application is the one that gets deployed as a GitHub Pages page. And so if you add new features to the data import utility and you want to add UI for those features as well, you would just update the components and do a PR, get it merged. Once it merges, GitHub Action runs and deploys the new version of the application here. Of the sample UI is what I meant. Okay, we accomplished a goal today in the time of the stream. Unfortunately, we didn't have as much community day. I mean, we talked about personalities a lot, and again, I will talk about that for days. But we didn't really talk very much about software related topics. But we are coming to the end of community day. However, I am going to get back to work. I will be stopping the stream and then starting my workday stream for the next 3 hours. Yeah, I'll go for 3 hours. But I'll take a little break in between stopping this stream and starting the next stream. However, completely up to you. Because this break is probably going to be a little longer, it's going to be like 15 to 20 minutes. I am going to raid out. And we're going to raid out to one of my favoriteest, bestest friends who sounds like he's about to wrap up. You're not wrapping up, are you? Okay, so I don't think he is. Yes, I know. We're gonna raid out to Big Amy. I'm gonna go to this screen. I have a feeling he's gonna be ending soon though. But again, I will be back in about 15-20 minutes. You're welcome to come back. There is no obligation, nothing like that. But I'll be doing my work product, which is more stuff similar to this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. The VODs do get posted to YouTube. Thank you so much, Dukasoft. I need to do the waving thing. Last time I started it super late, so I missed out on some of the waving. I don't ever want to miss out on the waving. So yeah, during my workday stream, I'll show you the improvements that I made to the lab data import utility already, as well as to the data import library in general. So things like the synchronized scrolling for the preview and the red data, as well as the row hovering effect, synchronized row hovering. But that's it for now. I'll be back in 15-20 minutes. Ciao. Tschüss. Shalom. Au revoir. Au revoir. I can't. Later, alligator. Exactly. Shout out to Irish Town Games.